Hi, good evening, everybody. This is Gibran here from RealCO Capital, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the townhouse market in Dubai. Specifically, I'm going to talk about current and future supply, try to put some perspective on the launches that have taken place over the past 6 months, and also try to answer a question which a few people have asked me: is there going to be an oversupply of townhouses in Dubai? Right? I've got a lot of data of this market. I've been tracking this market for many years, so I thought it'll be a good opportunity to share some of that data with you. If you like the content we're putting up, please do like this video, subscribe to our channel. We regularly put out content which I think is hopefully useful to our audience. And if you're looking to purchase a property, sell a property in Dubai, you need any advice, our number is here on the screen. Please do get in touch with us. So let's get right into it. This graph here is actually going to give you some perspective on new townhouses launched every single year since this market started back in 2002. And so in 2021, what we saw was 4,400 townhouses that have been launched so far. So launch means the developer announces the project, sells the project on a payment plan, and then it's going to be delivered 3 to 4 years from now. So 4,400 townhouses launched this year. If you look at the last 6-7 years, the average number is around 3,700, so nothing extraordinary in terms of that. The peak number of launches we saw in this market was back in 2015, 2016, where close to like 5,500, 5,700 units were launched into the market. So hindsight's an excellent thing, and so if you're looking back from 2014 to 2016, some of the major developments that were launched, including Madon, Arabella, Maple, Mira Oasis, Nishama Town Square, all of these are handed over. They were handed over between 2018 and 2019. And if you look at their performance today, occupancy rates of 98-99%, capital gains of between 25 to 35%. Yes, there were times over the past few years where prices had fallen significantly, but the investor that held on believed in the market, took a medium term, not a short term approach, they've done exceptionally well. And so I think that if you're looking to purchase in this market, you have to understand that you can't think too short term. You can't look to purchase a property and then flip it next year. Those times are gone. But the clients that are actually looking at buying in this market and holding off for the next 4 to 5, 6, 7 years, they're going to do exceptionally well. Rental returns in Dubai for townhouses as a percentage is between 4.5 up to 5.56%, which is some of the best returns that you can get in any property type in Dubai. So if we look at a map of Dubai, and if you are a buyer and you wanted to buy a townhouse in Dubai, there's obviously a lot of choice, a lot of different projects you can choose from. Everything here in blue is a project that kind of exists or mostly exists that you can go and purchase a townhouse in. And if you look at this map here, everything here in red is what was launched in 2021. So you can count them. The number of major launches that have taken place is like 8 to 10 projects, and some of the notable ones here you can say are Muruj Al Furjan, Tilal Al Gaf, the Mak Lagoons, Pulse Beach, the Mock Hills, two new enclaves within that, Reem and Town Square, new enclaves within Ranches 3. So there haven't been that many launches taking place, and I think one thing that we should understand is we live in an age of social media, and if you're a buyer, and you've been in touch with a couple of agencies, you're going to be bombarded across all sorts of social media of new project launches. It can feel quite overwhelming, but in actuality, the number of real opportunities that have entered the market is not that many. So moving along, let's look at the supply that's entering the market on a yearly basis. And so if we see in 2021, about 3,300 townhouses were delivered into the marketplace, and the average over the past 6-7 years is between 2,500 to 3,000 units. The highest being 2019, where we saw around 3,800 units delivered. The line in green here is actually showing you the total cumulative supply of townhouses. So 2009, you could see there's only around 7,500 townhouses, and that's grown significantly now. And so if we look at the market today, there's about 29,000 ready townhouses, and all these 29,000 townhouses are performing well, right? The townhouse occupancy rates will range anywhere between 95 to 99%. If you wanted to rent a townhouse out, right, as an investor, if you own one, it would rent out within a few days. And there's a lot of advantages of owning a townhouse. Obviously, lifestyle changes because of the pandemic are there, but beyond that, the numbers are just work out much better in terms of annual maintenance fees, price per square foot, the fact that you get a garden, you get more value for your money. Townhouses are proving to be one of the most popular kind of places where people want to put their money in Dubai. So If you look at the next chart here, this is actually showing you, deliveries per year, and we're projecting out into the future. So in 2022, there's going to be around 4,300 townhouses that are expected to be handed over. So that's going to be the most on record, and I'm going to talk about that more in a second. This year, 3,300 townhouses. Every single year, you can see the average is between 26 to 3,000, 3,500 townhouses are consistently entering the market and are being absorbed. So in this graph here, we're actually seeing future supply, but we're seeing them on an annual basis as a percentage of the total supply. So 2016, the amount of supply that entered market was like 20% of the total supply, and now we can see it's kind of leveling off, which makes sense. As the market matures, that number will go down. And if we look at from 2022 to 2025, we're going to see another 14,000 townhouses enter the market. So that's a big number, but just to put that into perspective, over the past 4 years, 13,100 townhouses have been delivered from 2018 to 2021. So that number is basically holding steady, and I expect that number is going to be absorbed very rapidly. But what I want to do is I want to give you some perspective on where those 14,000 townhouses are actually coming up, because I think that really paints a more interesting picture. So 56% of those 14,000 townhouses are coming up in the outskirts of the city. And when I mean outskirts, I do mean outskirts. So Emaar South, Dubai South, the Mark Hills 2, Villanova, the Valley is constituting about 7,000-8,000 units that are going to enter the market, and a lot of them are going to enter the market next year. Don't write these projects off. They are some excellent developments here, and if you drive into these communities, you're going to see that the take-up is happening at a pretty steady and strong rate. The reason for that is because these are niche developments. They're targeting parts of the city which are underserved. Because if you're a townhouse buyer right now, the majority of the supply, and when I mean the vast majority of the supply, is located in this box here in red, right? This is the core of the city. So these townhouse developments like Emaar South, Dubai South, they're catering to the new airport and all the other economic components that go with it. So this is an area where you're betting on the future. And then the Mark Hills 2, Villanova, and the Valley are catering to a part of the city and parts of Sharjah where there are no freehold townhouses to compete with. So everything that's been launched has its own feasibility, and they are being taken up. But beyond those communities, the rest of the supply is mainly coming up in the center of the city here, which is Al Qudra Road, Hessa Street, and these are the major communities here: Red Ranch Street, Al Gaf, the Mark Lagoons, Motor City Hills, Cherrywoods, Town Square. So we've seen quite a lot of activity here. This area is now pretty much, except for the Mark Lagoons, it's all pretty much mature and built up. So we're not going to be seeing that many new future launches coming up here. And then we've got 1.5% of the future supply is here in Emaar. We've got Mohammed bin Rashid City, and then just 5% of total future supply is on Sheikh Zayed Road, and this is of course the most important part of the city. And there have been some projects launched here recently this year in Rouge Al Furjan. That's been an incredible development. There are going to be a couple of new developments that are going to be coming up along Sheikh Zayed Road, which we have advanced information about. So I think if you're an investor, I think one of the first places that you should look to purchase would be something along Sheikh Zayed Road, because it is the core of the city. There is hardly any land here, and I think the feasibility of purchasing here is much better. So get in touch with us on that if you might be interested. And yep, so that's the summary of the current and future supply of townhouses in Dubai. I hope that gives you some perspective and helps answer some of the questions you might have. If you have any other questions, you want to get in touch with us, our number is here on the screen. You should send me an email, you can WhatsApp us, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.